I am going to rank all these games, not all of them, some of them, like the FNAF 3 troll game. I'm not gonna put that on the tier list. In fact, let's get rid of E, replace it with F, and just put extras here. So we'll put the FNAF 3 fan game there. I'll keep FNAF AR, and I'll keep those two, and I'll keep that, and I haven't played Freddy in Space 3 yet. Put it as non-applicable. True. That is a good idea. Non-applicable. Don't mind that I had to figure out how to spell that. Let's rank all of these on a scale of difficulty. S being the most difficult, and F being the easiest shit ever. Let's begin just starting with FNAF 1. I personally think FNAF 1, especially out of like the base FNAF formula, is the easiest one. I would say it's easier than like FNAF World and whatnot, but those are like two very different games. It's difficult to compare them, but I think just putting FNAF 1 in F tier for this one, because if you find FNAF difficult, I'll say this in the nicest way possible, just look up a tutorial on FNAF 1 cheese strat, and you'll be able to beat 420 modes all day. FNAF 1 is really, really easy. FNAF 2! Oh boy, what a step up. Holy shit, FNAF 2 is really, really easy until you start getting later in the game, and especially Custom Night. Because holy fuck, is Foxy so unforgiving, and Toy Bonnie is actually Satan reincarnated. He is so difficult. Like, the only way to play 10-20 mode consistently is like, you gotta use like a cheesy strategy, and still it's so RNG based that it takes like an hour maximum for me to beat a 10-20 mode run, because I keep dying to Toy Bonnie's bullshit. Definitely 10-20 mode by itself is, I want to say, makes it S tier. But because the previous nights are like a little easier, I'm inclined to just put it in A tier. But I think I'm just going to slap it in S tier just specifically because of how fucked Toy Bonnie is. And how much I hate him. FNAF 3 can be really easy, but it can also be really difficult. See, Springtrap, Peepaw, Old Man Afton, you know, you gotta lure him around, you know, you gotta give him his fucking dementia medication because he forgot where he is and he just keeps trying to kill you. But it's really difficult to lure him sometimes. Like, sometimes he just doesn't give a shit and just comes straight into your office and you're dead and you don't really know why or how. But in most cases, you can beat it relatively easily. I would say Aggressive Nightmare Mode is definitely one of the most inconsistent nights out of the entire FNAF franchise. Same with 10-20 mode in FNAF 2. Because Aggressive Nightmare Mode, he can just fuck off, and yeah. So for that reason, I think I'll put him in, let's do, because of how easy the earlier nights are, I'm gonna put it in C2. FNAF 4. On a difficulty scale, it's really not that bad, all things considered. There is a secret 420 mode night in the game, and I can beat that pretty consistently. However, it does start to go into question when we introduce the challenges, because I'm talking about 100%ing all these games. And because of how difficult all those little challenges can be, I personally will also put it in B tier. It can be a little bit of a bitch. B for bitch. Let's say that. B for bitch. FNAF Worlds! By no means is FNAF World difficult. In fact, if you get the Halloween characters early, you're steamrolling. It's too easy. It's actually just too easy. But there are some bosses in the game that require some strategy if you're not just trying to cheese it most of the time. But for the majority part, FNAF World is a relatively chill experience. But then there's also games like Chica's Magic Rainbow. And I think for that specific reason, we will not put it in F tier, but put it in D tier. I think that's a good spot for FNAF World. Sister Location. I think that the base game for Sister Location is painfully slow and easy. I have never had any issues with it, not even the Night 4 Spring Lock thing. So for that, I would put it in F tier, but there is the custom night, which is part of Sister Location. And despite what many people think, 1020 mode in Sister Location really isn't that bad.
Yeah, it takes a lot of practice and getting used to.
But like once you have it down, it's really easy actually. But because the learning curve is pretty high for Sister Location, I'll put it in C tier. But once you do pass that curve, it's pretty easy. Pizza Sim. Oh boy. Do I have a gripe with Pizza Sim? Because holy fuck, are the nights so unnecessarily hard sometimes. Especially if you're trying to 100% the game. Because you have to get Blacklisted and Completionist, which basically involve you having to beat Night 7 with all animatronics and all ads twice. And it's really, really difficult to do that. It's really, really hard. It's really hard. It can be really difficult. I wouldn't say S tier difficulty because sometimes the fuck it we ball energy works surprisingly well, but it's definitely harder than FNAF 4 and easier than FNAF 2. So I'll say A tier. Now, Ultimate Custom Night. We know where this is going. It's going in S tier, strictly because of 50-20 mode. Yes, I've definitely gotten significantly better at 50-20 mode as of recently, but it's still like one of the, if not the most difficult challenge of the entire FNAF franchise. It's hard. And especially with the RNG aspects as well, it makes it so that even if you do become a god at 50-20 mode, consistency is very difficult in Ultimate Custom Night. So that's why it's going to go in S tier. Easily. Easy S tier. Help Wanted. I'd say like 90% of the minigames in Help Wanted are cakewalks. Like actual cakewalks, so easy that like the only reason you would die is if you made a dumb mistake. But then there's minigames like Plush Baby, which tests my patience in such a way that just makes me angry. Just makes me so angry. It just makes me so damn angry. I don't get it. I don't get it. And also having to 100% the game requires you having to learn where all the coins and tapes are, which can be difficult to memorize. And overall, just kind of sucks. But it's not terribly difficult. I'd say, I don't actually know where I want to put this one. Definitely nowhere near the bottom, nowhere near the top. I want to put it in like B or C tier. I would say it's on par with like Sister Location and FNAF 3 because it's really, really easy up until certain points. Curse of Dreadbear. I would actually put Curse of Dreadbear in B tier. Just a little bit higher than Help Wanted. Because yes, as much as there is less minigames in Curse of Dreadbear, they're more consistently difficult in my opinion. It might just be because of lack of experience, but I find the minigames in the Curse of Dreadbear DLC to be consistently more difficult to the ones in the base game. So it'll be B tier for that. AR! You know what? Fuck you, AR. I'm not dealing with you. I played AR like for like a week or two when it first came out. That's literally all you need to know about the game, is that I played it for like a week when it first came out. Anyways, Freddy in Space 2. Not hard, just confusing. And because of that, I want to give it like a D tier instead of an F tier, and I'll do that. But overall, it's not that hard. Now Fury's Rage, I'm immediately putting that in F tier. Easy game. I've played a couple fighting sims in my past, so like I mean I kind of know what I'm doing, and it's very basic, the movement kit that you get. F tier. Security Breach. What a game! It's gonna be really difficult to rate Security Breach because on some aspects it's pretty easy for the most part. Like I can be brain dead for most of Security Breach. It's just especially on launch, there is a majority of the game that is so difficult and confusing because of how buggy or broken the game was. I definitely won't give it D or F tier, but it can definitely, you know, cause some trauma. So I think for that, I will give it C tier. I would put it on par with regular like Help Wanted and Sister Location and whatnot. Security Breach Ruin, F tier. Insanely easy. There's so much hand holding, like holy shit. I got confused like once playing Ruin. I played it. It was really easy, so F tier. Anyways, that is definitely my definitive difficulty tier list for all the FNAF games. Now, you will probably not agree with this, or you might agree with this. Some things you might agree with, some things you might not agree with. So you might have had a different experience. Like FNAF 4 might be like actually just Satan's asshole for you. So you might put it in S tier. I haven't had that much struggles with it, so it's like more B tier for me. This is my definitive difficulty tier list. I will probably add to this tier list as more games come out, and if I change any opinions on the matter, then maybe I will change some things around. But as it stands right now, this is what the tier list is going to look like. But anyways, I'm probably gonna end this stream now, so thank you everybody so much for joining. It was quite a pleasure. And as always, remember to stay sunny, because you're watching Partly Cloudy. Have a good night, lads.